Okay, welcome. Thank you for joining with me here in this class, How to Heal. Thank you so much for being present. Thank you so much for doing this with me and being dedicated to this, to the awakening of who you really are. And today we have another packed class. There's always so much to share and so much that comes up that's screaming for attention in that sense. But first of all, this is a time to relax your attention from the world, to sit back and to not worry about what's going on whatsoever. So you can let go of all your concerns and all your occupations and all your distractions and all your everything that's in the way for you to go within and make contact with what is really there. So it might be helpful to close your eyes for a moment and just sink in the withinness, to immediately make contact with that in this class, what appears to be a class, but it's nothing but a moment of remembering who you really are, and a moment to get in touch with what is real about you. So I'm gonna set off with a little part of a meditation of Joel, of the 40-day How to Heal meditation. And this one is called My Body. Wait a second, sorry. I'm Under Grace. That was the name of it. I am under grace. I just read the last section. And this is just an introduction almost to an meditation. But since we're actually meditating in this class anyway, it's like you sink deeper into your withinness, so we don't have to sit quietly doing this. We can still be guided to the words that are given. But here's the last paragraph of this. Now I am under grace. Now I recognize no law but the law of God. Now I recognize no cause but the great cause, invisible cause, God. Now I acknowledge no effect except those effects, which are God in expression, God formed, and God realized. I'm no longer under the law of cause and effect. I'm under grace. So this is where we meet, and this is where the presence is open for us to enter. So we are under grace. You can experience grace. You can come into to literally feel the grace running through you by becoming grateful, by feeling that it's like, oh my God, there's such excitement to be in connection with and to be aware of that separation has not occurred, but that I'm in constant communication with God. I might be distracted for a moment, but now I choose to remember. And this is entering into grace. So close your eyes for a moment and relax, and just sigh a little bit and relax into this and feel that there is something there. Like you can literally relax your attention from the world and descend into your withinness. So you might feel energy moving, or you might feel emotions coming up, or you might feel sad, or you might feel whatever. Like it's all allowed to be there. There's no way that there's a description of what you should feel or what you should experience in this present moment. So it is your time, literally, to commune with your creator and to be completely open, to relax deeply into the heart of God, basically, to experience as much love as you possibly can accept, or you can possibly be open for. So today in this class, we will use this always like as a reference point, also for healing. This is where healing takes place, of course. It's like you let go of the world, or you literally relax your attention from the world, and something else can occur, and that is like you come in touch, you come into communication with your creator, and it can appear stillness, it can appear to be quiet, but it is always like restful, it is always moving you literally. So really feeling that you are connected. This is your opportunity to experience that. So, and breathing is important with that, because with the breathing you start to relax. So just sigh out from deep from your belly. Just just let it fall off your shoulder, literally. Like, okay, So relax deep into yourself. Allow everything to come up. Thoughts may arise, emotions may arise, whatever. It is all allowed to be there. But you're not going to say, be active with it. So you're just going to let it be there, but not anticipate or not work with it. Don't engage in your thoughts or your emotions, but just let them freely be there. So when you do it like that, when you allow them to be there, there's a possibility to sink deeper into yourself, because that goes in different phases. It's like first you might feel that it's quiet, or that you feel your body. It's like, okay, I'm sitting in this chair, I hear the birds outside, I do see this and see that. And suddenly you feel, I'm going deeper. Like, oh, wow, I'm actually getting quiet in myself. Oh, this is, start to feel this too. Like, oh, whatever that was like a moment ago, I can still feel it stirring me. It's something emotional that comes up, or thoughts are coming up. Like, I was so busy, I was thinking about this and that. No, you just let that come up. Now you don't have to control it or in any way. You just are not engaging with it, but basically seeing them just disappear, or seeing them float by like clouds in the sky. You don't have to examine them, you don't have to analyze them, but you just let them pass by. So then you can sink deeper into your stillness. Just a little below that is stillness. It's like, oh yes, oh, like you come into, if you get there, you come into this basically thoughtless state, of mindless state, or however you want to call it. Like you can't even think a thought in that when you are there. You can't even come up with an idea. So this is the stillness that we're entering in today, that you have a possibility of entering in today. So here's where the healing takes place. This is where you can feel light and love, and where you can feel energy moving in you. It might be just in your head, it might be in your neck, it might be in your solar plexus, or Jill says it can be in your hands. You can feel energy in your hands, or it can even sink deeper into the core, like into your lower back, or like that. So you can start feeling the energy starting to move. You might become a little restless, even bodily, and that's okay to just let that come up. Just let it. You don't have to sit still in doing this. It's okay to be moved by this energy. But if you prefer to sit still and do that, that's fine too, of course. So today I want to come to the ideas, like there's a lot of people that ask, like, I want to get rid of these bodily symptoms that I have, and I don't know how that let happen. And so I posted something on the website EV Hub yesterday, and that has to do with that. And I want to use that today in the class too, because it is quite clear in itself. It's not too long. It's a little bit of text, but it's very to the point, very much to the point. So I'm going to start reading that first question of lesson 1 of the Way of the Heart. So, and here's the question. I understand healing as Jeshua, like Jesus, speaks of it in the Course in Miracles. Yet what needs to occur for bodily symptoms to no longer be in one's experience? Like, this is a very popular question. So how can I get rid of these bodily symptoms that I really don't like? And then the answer is, and I will do this step by step. So paragraph 1 of the answer is, beloved friends, as I have spoken of healing in that text, which you know as A Course in Miracles is indeed the fundamental definition of healing. By considering it, it must flush up within you all the deeply held hopes and prayers and beliefs, and need to have healing be something that also manifests the perfection of the function of the body, according to your desire of what that perfection should be. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that once more, at least some part of it. By considering the fundamental definition of healing, by considering it, it must flush up within you all the deeply held hopes and prayers and beliefs, and need to have healing be something that also manifests the perfection of the body, of the function of the body, according to your desire of what that perfection should be. Okay, I'll go further to the second paragraph. What is necessary then for the removal of physical symptoms? The miracle. But the miracle is not something which is under your control. Listen well to the message of this session, which is like the whole lesson 1. For I have indicated already to you and deliberately indicated the answer to your question, and you will find it there. For rest assured, beloved friend, when there arises within the mind the hope or the wish that a physical symptom would leave the body, there must already be the enactment of an ancient belief that the body is what you are, and that, therefore, disease of some kind, as you would call it this, limits your ability to extend love, to communicate with all of creation, and to be at peace, which is, of course, not true. So I'll read the last sentence again. That therefore, disease of some kind, as you would call it this, limits your ability to extend love, to communicate with all of creation, and to be at peace. And then Jesus refers here to his own crucifixion. You may rest assured that when my many friends saw me with a crown of thorns upon my head, they thought, oh, poor loved one. Out of the belief that certain spirituality must mean the power to overcome everything the mind has judged as disease. The point that I'm seeking to reach with you is an attempt to dig deep within the depth of your psyche, to bring to the surface with you an ancient belief that true spirituality is recognized by all absence of disease, and that if you were truly whole, it would never arise within the body. Yet I say this unto you, what if every moment of your experience was literally being brought to you of the Father, who alone knows the perfect plan for the healing of your mind? So I'm continue reading because this is so to the point. Remember, it is not possible to transcend what is not wholly loved. Therefore, place the attention on deepening the love of self, the exploration of the experience that has been called to the consciousness through the form of dis-ease of whatever kind. Learn to look upon it with the perfect innocence that you would look upon anything else, and see through it to see that it does not limit you in any way from being the unlimited presence of love. It is not a weakness, and it is not to be compared to what may appear as to be a diseaseless body. For the eyes of the body do not show what is within another soul. Beloved friend, there is a part of you that carries an ancient tear. Let it be released, and healing will come. So, and does that answer the question, like how are bodily symptoms removed? It's like, where do they need to be removed from? And basically that is from your own thinking. Like they have to be removed from your own thinking, from your own ideas about how things should look. And that can be very intense for you to accept that. But at the same time, there's no other way to come into peace with that. Like you, in the end, you will not care about how that is going to look because of your inner connection, inner communication, and also your experience of oneness for yourself. Like it does not stop you from fulfilling your purpose, and that's why it's important to read this. And I will put this on the website too, so you can repeat it again. But it's more like you have an opportunity to dive deep into yourself and see what is there. Like, is there still an ancient tear, as it is being said here? And I like that term, like ancient tear. Like there's a deep, deep, deep sadness or a deep something inside of you that asks for release. So you will have to come up with that. It's not that you have to dig into it in order to dig it up, literally, but more it will come to the surface if you ask for it. Like, show me what that ancient tear is for me, because I want to release that. I want that to be free. I want to be free of the fact that I think that I'm limited in any way, in any form, and in any way. I want to be free of that, and that's basically the awakening process. That is your transformation process. Like there is no limit to you extending yourself as the love that you are, but your own ideas about it. That is your only limit. So keep that in mind as we continue. I want to bring in the idea of body, because this is all about physical transformation. Like, however you're gonna look at your transformational process, it's a very physical process. Whether you have a disease, whether it appears that you have a disease, or whether you have a limitation of some kind physically, or whatever it is, like this body is full of memory, is full of ancient ideas. Like literally your genetics are full of survival mode things. Like you went in your lifetimes, you went through so many episodes of lack and of disease and of fear of war, like you were so focused on survival, that all these things are coming up again and present themselves in some form in your life and so they can be healed. So that comes to the surface. Suddenly you find yourself having not one penny in your pocket, and there you have your little transformational moment. There's an opportunity to see that it does not stop you from fulfilling your function as the love that you are. Like there's literally no limit to any of the say the appearances. There's no There's no limit to any of the appearances that seem to hold you back in expressing who you really are. So here's the thing that I want to read, and this is specifically about the body. And it's coming from A Course in Miracles. It's lesson 294. My body is a wholly neutral thing. See, and it brings you right to the core. I am a son of God. Like, this is what you are. You are the son of God. You're the extension of what love is. You're literally created by love and extending that as what you are. I am a son of God. And can I be another thing as well? Did God create the mortal and corruptible? What use has God's beloved Son for what must die? And yet a neutral thing does not see death, for thoughts of fear are not invested there, nor is a mockery of love bestowed upon it. Its neutrality protects it while it has a use, and afterwards, without a purpose, it is laid aside. It is not sick, nor old, nor hurt. It is but functionless, unneeded, and cast off. Let me not see it more than this today, of service for a while and fit to serve, to keep its usefulness while it can serve, and then to be replaced for greater good. My body, Father, cannot be your Son, and what is not created cannot be sinful nor sinless, neither good nor bad. Let me then use this dream to help your plan, that we awaken from all dreams we made. My body, Father, cannot be your Son, and what is not created cannot be sinful nor sinless, neither good nor bad. Let me then use this dream to help your plan, that we awaken from all dreams we have made. My body is a wholly neutral thing. So yeah, it is always coming to the same point, and it's a choice. What do you want to experience? Do you want to experience yourself as a body in this world of limitation, and letting yourself be completely identified with that? Or do you get in touch with who you really are? Like, do you allow yourself to experience and that you are Christ's mind, that you are the Son of God, the light of the world, and also to be in that withinness? Are you allowing yourself to be connected to your, like, do you have your attention connected to your withinness? Or are you distracted by the world and appearing to be sick and appearing to be, it's like, yeah, sick or limited in any way? So are you not able to fulfill your function? That's basically where it runs down to. Are you seeing yourself as not being able to fulfill your function of extending the love that you are? You know, so this is always a choice. You have a choice of that every moment. And when you catch yourself in thinking that you're limited in any way, a red flag should arise. It's like, okay, I gotta get back into myself and relax into that, and relax my attention from everything else that is distracting me from knowing who I really am. I want to get in touch with that. I want to get in touch with who I really am. So, and there's the opportunity to relax again and descend deeper into yourself than before, and allowing everything to come up, not to distract you but just for healing. And you come in touch, say, with the bottom of your heart, with your deepest desires of returning home, of like being with the Father, or disappearing into the heart of God. So all that is available for you Just like Jesus says, how do you get rid of these bodily symptoms? It is by the miracle. And the miracle is nothing but remembering who you really are in this moment, in this present moment. And you might say, like, well, that healing did not work for me. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. And so that can happen too, because you can be afraid for the outcome. You can be afraid. You can see that you're actually thinking that is a sacrifice to offer, say, literally offer this world to God and say, like, okay, I don't want anything to do with this anymore. I'm ready to let go of it and have a real deep experience of the reality of who I am. And that fact that can feel like a sacrifice is just like, okay, that's going to stir up a lot of fear for you. So in that moment you will not receive the healing or not feel the light and not feeling the communication that's available for you just because you become afraid. That can happen. So I'm going to read you a little bit from Is Healing Certain? From A Course in Miracles, just to put this in perspective. Is healing certain? So this is from the teacher's manual, and this is chapter 8. Healing is always certain. It is impossible to let illusions be brought to truth and keep the illusions. Truth demonstrates illusions have no value. The teacher of God has seen the correction of his errors in the mind of the patient, recognizing it for what it is. Having accepted the at-one-ment for himself, he also accepted it for the patient. Yet what if the patient uses sickness as a way of life, believing healing is the way to death? When this is so, a sudden healing might precipitate intense depression and a sense of loss so deep that the patient might even try to destroy himself. Having nothing to live for, he may ask for death. And healing must wait for his protection. Healing will always stand aside when it would be seen as a threat. The instant it is welcome, it is there. Where healing has been given, it will be received. And what is time before the gifts of God? We have referred many times in the text to the storehouse of treasures laid up equally for the giver and receiver of God's gifts. Not one is lost, for they can but increase. No teacher of God should feel disappointed if he has offered healing and it does not appear to have been received. It is not up to him to judge when his gift should be accepted. Let him be certain that it has been received and trust that it will be accepted when it is recognized as a blessing and not as a curse. I always love to read this because it is so good to know that, like, okay, it is okay when you're afraid to receive the healing or when you think it's too much of a big step for you to allow this healing to occur to you. Like, where would you go without your sickness? Where would you be without your sickness? Or where would you be with what occupies your mind like most of the day? If that suddenly would disappear, you would fall into a gap. Or like if you see that as a curse for yourself instead of a blessing, then healing will just not occur at that point. But you will receive whatever is being given to you. One day it will come that you suddenly start to realize, oh my God, I got nothing to lose. Why not allow this healing to happen to me? And this is the same with when you dig deep, like when you not really dig deep, but it's more like when you allow your deep pain to come up to the surface for healing. When you allow that process, if that comes up, you should be able to let that occur. Like, don't suppress it. Just allow it to be there, even though it is very uncomfortable, or whether it is in whatever it is for you. Allow that just to come up, because the fact that it comes up means that you're ready to let it be healed. And this can take a moment. It will be given to you in a way that you can handle it. So that's like, it can take a moment. It can be on a daily basis that parts of it come back. When you enter into meditation, you immediately are there again in your pain point, or however you want to call it, and the healing continues. I recognize that for myself. Like, I had this for months. Like, every day when I started to go within, there would be this deep pain coming up, and I could cry a little bit more, or I could release it a little bit more, and then at a certain point it just disappeared, and something really big shifted at that point. It's like there's an opportunity to heal, and there's an opportunity for you to get rid of something that you don't want to carry around in your backpack with ideas. You don't want to keep struggling with that. So there's a great opportunity for you to let this healing occur on a really deep level. Let all come up that needs healing, that doesn't belong to you in that sense, but just needs to be freed by you allowing that to occur to you. So the appearance of bodily symptoms, they can disappear by your shift of perception. So they might even still be there in form, but they cannot touch you anymore, because it is not a limit any longer. They don't limit you in fulfilling your function. So you don't have yourself to be stopped by it. You don't have to let yourself be, say, influenced by it anymore. And that's easy for me to say in this way, but at the same time, it is literally the core of the teaching in that sense. It is the core of the teaching that you have a choice. Either you make your symptoms real, or you release your attention, you relax your attention from it and release what's underlying on it, or you recognize your identification with it, and suddenly you shift your attention to withinness and see that you're actually a shining light, extending your love into this world without any limit whatsoever. Like, it didn't stop you from receiving a miracle for yourself. Wow. So that's so great. That's so great that we have the opportunity to take a look at this and to allow a whole different perception to come to us. That is so great with this. Like, things that appear to be stuck so much don't have to stay that way any longer. There's always a possibility for you to let that shift and release whatever is underlying, and seeing that you are as God created you. So I'm ending this class with another part of Joel's prayer. The part I just read, like, now I'm under grace. Now I am under grace. Now I recognize no law but the law of God. Now I recognize no cause but the great cause, invisible cause, God. Now I acknowledge no effect except those effects which are God in expression, God formed, God realized. I'm no longer under the law of man. I'm under grace. So thank you so much for being present with me in this class, and hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.